Welcome back to They Reminisce Over You, a podcast that takes a nostalgic look back at the best in music, movies, and TV from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. I'm Miguel.
And I'm Christina. And today we're going to talk about one of our favorite teen movies, which we still enjoy as adults.
I do.
This movie stars Kid and Play, as well as many other familiar faces.
Yeah.
In case you haven't figured it out, we're talking about House Party.
House Party. So are you ready to just get into it?
Let's do it.
Okay, so House Party was written and directed by Reginald Hudlin, and it was based off of his student film House Party, which was pretty much the same thing as this movie, but on a much bigger budget and better actors. Yes.
And expanded from 20 minutes to probably, 90 minutes?
Yeah. It was inspired by the Luther Vandross song Bad Boy Having a Party, and it was produced by his brother Warrington for New Line Cinema. So when you hear the words House Party, what comes to mind first? Fun
teen movie, music, and dancing.
Yeah, I just said dancing and shenanigans.
Yeah, that too.
So whoever's listening to this, the movie's been out for like 35 years, so I know you know the plot.
Spoiler alert.
But the movie is about two teens who decide to throw a house party. Play's parents go down south, as a lot of our families did, and left him at home by himself. And he decides to throw a party. He's going to get Bilal, played by Martin Lawrence, to DJ it. He's going to get his boy Kid to come through. They're going to invite everybody.
All the hot girls.
All the hot girls going to be there. And they're going to have a good time.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Get into it. Shenanigans, like I said. So think about the first time that you had heard about this movie. How old were you? And what did you expect going into it? And did it live up to those expectations?
Well, I cannot really remember because I was 11 when this movie came out.
Okay, so you didn't see it immediately.
I didn't see it. If my sisters weren't watching it, I wasn't watching it. And I am fairly certain they were not watching it. So most likely, I saw it a couple of years later. So obviously, I probably wouldn't have had any expectations except for like, hey, look, more people of color in movies.
Right.
Because my first memory of Kid and Play is actually Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody, which is from House Party 2.
Yeah.
So I imagine I probably, by 1991, then I kind of got a hint of who Kid and Play was, because I do remember really liking that song. So most likely I ended up watching it a couple years later.
Yeah, I didn't have any expectations either, because at that point we really didn't have any hip hop themed teen movies.
Right.
I think the Fat Boys played some teenagers in Disorderlies, but it wasn't really hip hop. They just happened to be hip hoppers doing a movie.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is more hip hop. There were other hip hop movies out there, but they were dramatic. So like Breaking and Beat Street, and there was always some sort of mission they had to accomplish. Like, we got to save the Miracles Youth Center or whatever. I didn't recognize it at the time, but when we were prepping for this, I stumbled across a Q Points video because they did a review of the movie at one of their episodes.
The homies.
Yes. And Sir Daniel said that this movie is a combination of Risky Business and 16 Candles. And it makes complete sense to me once I think about it from that lens.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's just the Gen X version of John Hughes movies, but in a hip hop lens, basically.
And in a space where like Black teenagers can just be teenagers.
Yeah.
Even though they did have run-ins with the police.
They did.
So there is an element of like, you know, this is still specifically Black teenagers, not any teenagers, but any teenager can still relate to this.
Because in a lot of those other teen movies, if there was elements of the police, it was because of something the kid had done. Whereas with this one,
walking while black,
just walking down the street.
Yep. Literally.
Yes. So you mentioned Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. Obviously, you were listening to Kid and Play before the movie.
Well, most likely that's what led me to watch the movie, but I wasn't listening to Kid and Play when the movie came out, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because this movie came out in 1990. And then Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody and House Party 2 came out the year after. So prior to Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody, I highly doubt I was listening to them because I don't recognize any of the songs prior to that except for Rolling with Kid and Play. But I think that's probably just discovering that after too.
Yeah.
I listened to the Too Hype album for the first time this weekend. Or at least
Okay.
it felt like the first time because I didn't recognize any of the songs.
Yeah, I had the album
hmm
and I was a fan.
hmm
This was a time when we were still dancing and partying before things got a little too hard and rough.
Yes.
So on that front, they were perfect for us.
hmm
Like they had the dance moves.
hmm
They always had on a fresh pair of Jordans.
hmm
They had the fresh outfits.
hmm
Of course, we all wanted the hair. I couldn't grow mine as long as kids, so I topped out like Plays was.
Right.
But when we were dancing at like junior high dances and whatnot, we're breaking out all of their moves. So
hmm
I was all in on Kid and Play.
Yeah, I think it's just it came out a couple years too early for me because I would say anything before 1992 is I might know it, I might not know it.
All right.
But by 92, 93, I was like all in for sure. Like pretty much anything after that, I would have known, at least known about it if I
Yeah.
didn't actually see it. But yeah, like when you talk about like 88 to 91 or so, I'm coming out of top 40 and like, and just like regular pop culture TV
Right.
stuff. Yeah.
So let's get into the movie.
Okay.
Explain the Kid and Play dynamic to me, the movie version of Kid and Play.
Well, they're best friends. You could tell that they're close, even though they're always sort of like in competition with each other
Yeah.
or like kind of roasting each other, but only in the way that friends do.
Right.
So it feels like they probably grew up together or have been friends for a long time and they have like a good camaraderie with each other. But you see that like Kid is a little more, he seems a little more naive
Yeah.
and he's like slightly dorky, but not so much that he can't hang out with Play who's like cool and
Right.
slick and stuff, but he's a little like he can be a little dorky.
Yeah.
But like I said, just enough to like be cute and still hang out with the cool guys and the girls still like him and stuff. And Play was kind of slick.
Yeah.
So
Pretty much.
as much as he does seem to value the friendship, he can also be a little self-centered.
Yes. He is very selfish.
Yeah.
It's play first, and
Yes.
then I'll think about everybody else.
It's playtime.
Yes.
But
which he had airbrushed on his jacket
Yes.
and pants.
Yes. But he did come through for Kid when he really needed him
Yeah.
to, though. But in the everyday things, he might not be as reliable
Exactly.
and gives bad advice.
Oh, yeah. He gets terrible advice.
But he treats Play better than he treated Bilal. So,
Oh, he treats Kid better.
I mean, sorry, he treats Kid better than he treated Bilal. Had him waiting on his stoop for hours from daytime to nighttime.
Yes. And that's why he didn't even want to do the DJ gig for
Right.
him, because he said, I wasn't getting paid and you never give me transportation.
Yep. And then ruined all his stuff.
Yes.
What about another important relationship? The relationship between Kid and his dad.
He's a single dad, very stern.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if you listen to what he tells Kid when he says he can't go out,
Mm-hmm.
Kid seems to get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that he came in late from other parties before.
Mm-hmm.
And this ain't the first time he's done it. So you ain't going out, because his parents work nights too. Matter of fact, I know they out of town. So no, you can't go to the party.
You guys think you're slick.
Yeah.
What did he say? Every little step you take is going to be in this bedroom.
Yes. But you can tell that he really cares about him.
Yeah.
Because he works nights, came home and cooked him a full breakfast after he got off work.
Pancakes, hash browns.
And Kid's about to run out without eating it. Boy, you better eat that breakfast.
Why do kids on TV always pick up the piece of dry toast when
And
they
just
have this
run out.
spread in front of them?
That's the thing that you hate.
I do, because who's gonna give up all this nice food?
Exactly.
And his single dad spent this time after coming off his night shift making all this food. He didn't even take off his shoes.
Yeah, he fell asleep with his boots on.
Yeah,
It's funny that I grew up, and I was telling you, with a friend who had these same dynamics.
Mhm.
Single dad, raising a mixed son,
Mhm.
and they kind of had this Pops Kid energy as well. So I was very familiar with this.
Yeah, you could tell that, like, he's trying to do his best. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way he wants, because when he was like, I don't want you to make the same mistake I did. And then he's like, oh, Like,
Maybe
I'm
I
not
should have
saying
said that.
saying you're a mistake. You were unplanned.
Yeah.
How about that? And it was cute when he automatically wanted to like pat him on the head, but then he couldn't because of that damn hair. And
Yes.
then he was just like, oh, and patted him on the shoulder.
Which Shireen did later in the movie. She was about to pat him on the head too, and she pulled her hand back the same way. So let's get into some of the other characters. We already mentioned Bilal, who was played by Martin Lawrence. He was friend of Kid and Play. He was the DJ for the party. He reluctantly agreed to be the DJ for the party, but he was tricked with the promise of fine women at the party.
Which was delivered, except for none of those fine women, and even the ones he wasn't interested in, none of them were interested in him.
They were not, because he had quote unquote dragon breath.
Yes, at every person he tried to talk to was met with dragon breath.
So we also had Stab, Pee-wee, and Zilla played by half of Full Force. I guess they figured it would be too much to have 6 bullies in the movie.
Yes.
So let's just go ahead and get the George brothers, Paul Anthony, Bow-Legged Lou, and B-Fine. They just wanted to beat the brakes off a kid because he accidentally bumped Stab in the lunchroom and he spilled a little bit of milk on himself.
And that was enough.
That was enough
to seek revenge for the rest of the movie.
Yes, and send the movie into a tailspin from that moment on. We also had Sydney and Shireen, played by Tisha Campbell and AJ Johnson. They were the hot girls in the school. Best friends. Both of them had a little something for Kid, even though they never wanted to admit it to each other.
Right.
They both did, and it was obvious. We also had Pops, played by Robin Harris. We mentioned it. Single dad, wanted to whoop Kid's ass for sneaking out. And he was just hilarious.
Yes.
And
you can clearly tell he's a comedian.
Yes. One of the funniest I have ever seen do stand up too. And Groove B. Chill, who I said was the original cast, played by Groove B. Chill, Gene Groove Allen, Bilal, DJ Bilal Miller, and Daryl Chill Mitchell, who we now know has gone on to a pretty long career as an actor. You might know him as being in a wheelchair now, but he was still functioning at this point.
He's still functioning.
Yes, he's still functioning.
In a different way.
But he could still walk at this point.
And dance.
Yes, and he was dancing his ass off too. So of that list or somebody else, who was your favorite supporting character?
I like Shireen. She seems fun and easygoing.
Okay.
She's like the girl you kind of want to just hang out with.
Right.
Even though she did start talking to Kid after she said she wasn't interested in them, which had her and Sydney have their own little conflict. So, she could have been a little more forthcoming.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be teenagers.
Exactly.
But other than that, she seems pretty fun.
Yeah.
Bilal was funny, but he's not necessarily fun. He was always upset about something. And he had a right to be upset about things sometimes, but he was also a lot.
Yeah, the things he was getting mad at were justified, like Play leaving him or damaging his equipment or Chill constantly bumping into the DJ table.
Yeah, but he's also a lot.
Yeah, he was probably my favorite of that bunch of supporting characters, just for that reason.
Just to bring a different kind of angle or comedy.
Yeah, and he showed the selfishness of Play.
Yes.
More than Kid did. Kid just kind of took it, whereas Bilal would at least try to push back a little bit.
Yeah.
But he would always get tricked by the promise of women. So that would kind of cloud his judgment, but at least he did push back a little bit.
Yeah. I think Kid, he just, again, like I was saying, his character is a little naive.
Yeah.
He's much sweeter. So I think when Play does stuff, he's just like, whatever.
Yeah. Until they got to the rap battle.
Yeah.
And Play told him something about his rhymes being whack, and that kind of flipped the switch in him. Right. He's like, okay, let me show this fool.
He's like, oh no. This is where it draws.
Yeah. So did you have any full force types at your school?
Not that I recall. Definitely no huge boys with teeny tiny tank tops. I mean, high school's kind of a blur for me, but my high school, as far as I remember, just didn't have, those typical stereotypes you see in movies, like the bullies, the jocks, the popular kids. Like, obviously people had their own little friend groups, which I guess can be categorized into certain things, but for the most part, I don't remember any like bullying or like any of the social hierarchies and stuff. It was just groups of people.
Yeah, we did have some full force types in our school, but not in the bullying kind of way,
Yeah.
but more along the I'm 19 and in the 10th grade kind of way.
Super seniors?
Yeah, we had a few of those throughout the
Were they
years.
swole too?
Not necessarily. They weren't like you said, wearing the ripped shirts and
Right. And the
they
tiny
had
tank
jail
tops.
muscles or anything like
Right.
that. They were just 18, 19 in the 10th grade or
Yeah.
11th grade. They should have been gone years ago, but somehow they haven't figured out how to get out of high school yet.
Right.
So we did have a few of those.
Well, for the longest time, I knew the name Full Force were like these musicians and artists, but I didn't realize these guys who were beating up teenagers in movies was Full Force.
Okay.
I was like, oh, these are the guys behind Lisa and Chloe.
Right.
I'm like, those guys? So that was like a big revelation whenever I found that out. I'm like, oh, they don't just beat up teenagers? in
No, they
movies?
actually do other things.
So it's funny thinking about the characters they play in a movie like this and then the music that they make.
Yes. All right, so that's a good spot for us to take a break, and we will be right back. Okay, we are back, and let's talk about the party.
All right.
We just saw the Odyssey over the weekend, and I was thinking that this is similar to the Odyssey, where Kid is trying to get from his house to Play's house, and all sorts of crazy shit happens in between.
It sure does. Lots of twists and turns.
Yes, he gets harassed by the police. The bullies catch him and they chase him up and down the street. He ends up at another like frat
Actually,
party.
even before that, he inadvertently ends up being a peeping Tom,
Yes.
jumping through people's backyards and then ends up in someone's backyard.
Watching somebody having sex.
Yes. And then in the middle of all this, he's still like, whoa.
Getting shot at by the
Yes.
guy.
And then the cops are now chasing after him too, on top of the bullies.
Yes.
And then he ends up crashing this like sorority.
Yeah, sorority fraternity party,
Yeah.
DJ'd by George Clinton of all people.
Yes. And then again, despite all the bullies and the police chasing after him and him trying to get to the party, he can't help himself. He sees the DJ, he sees a mic.
He's got to bust a rap.
Yep.
In front of these 50 to 70-year-olds.
Yes. And trying to teach George Clinton how to scratch.
Yes. So, yeah, the police catch him at the party.
Mm-hmm. The bullies show up.
Bullies show up at the party, punches Sydney's dad in the face.
Without knowing, I think he didn't realize that was Sydney's dad.
No, he didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
So he gets hit in the face. And the people being cool at the party was like, they just teenagers being teenagers. We don't need to press charges against this.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, these cops being asses are going to force them to quote Jesse Jackson before he let him go.
Mm-hmm.
I am somebody.
And then all the people at the party are like, this is stupid.
Yes. Because they know how police are, because it's probably happened to them 20 years prior to this.
Might have happened 5 years prior to
or
this.
even on the way to the
On
party.
the way, yeah. I mean, it never really ends, does it?
Exactly.
Yeah, so all those twists and turns, but he eventually gets to the party.
Yes. And when he finally gets there, was that something that you remember from parties you went to? Was it familiar?
Well, I didn't start going to parties like this until university.
Okay.
So I'm going to say no. But it does remind me a bit of like the school dances. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the demographic and the music was slightly different, although we had like a mix of music and stuff. But it does at least kind of remind me of like school dances.
Yeah.
We weren't having rap battles or anything like that.
Right.
But for the most part, teenagers dancing.
Yeah, I only went to probably 3 of these type of house parties when I was in high school. And one of them was one that we threw. So I wasn't going to them much either, because at this point we were going to like the 18 and under clubs where they would obviously have teen nights at the adult nightclubs like once a week. So we were going to those over actual house parties.
Okay.
And then once we got over 18, then it became the 18 to 21 club. So we were kind of skipping house parties at this point. Once we hit 21, ironically, we started going to more house parties. So that really doesn't make any sense to me in terms of the cycle. But yeah, that's what we were doing. And this did feel authentic. I remember the one that we threw, moving all of the furniture out of the living room, making sure it doesn't get broken. Stuffing everything into the bedroom, hiding all the valuables, and then just throwing a party in the living room and kitchen. Thinking back, I don't know how we got away with this because the neighborhood was very nice. It's a place where you shouldn't have NWA playing at 2:00 in the morning, but we never got the cops called on us.
Interesting.
I don't know how we pulled it off. No idea.
Maybe y'all got lucky and like the neighbors weren't home either.
I guess. Because it was my friend's girlfriend's house, and she lived in a stacked duplex, and they lived upstairs. Okay. So we had to go past her neighbor's front door to get up the stairs. So you got 100 kids coming past the front door. Hey, they just let us cook though.
That's nice of them. I probably wouldn't.
Me neither. Me neither. But nobody said anything.
I'd be like, Mr. Strickland.
Go on and dance with your big ass.
Who's that over there?
I'm calling the police.
Public enema.
So did you recognize anybody from your circles in these characters once you did start going out?
Not really in terms of like specific character traits. I can't say any of the characters reminded me of anyone in my circle. But just kind of like the general camaraderie of friendship, being young and just want to hang out with your friends. Like that was recognizable, especially Shireen and Sydney, just, having your best friend and like that. But not like, oh yeah, I know Shireen. Right. Like it's nothing specific.
Well, I knew a version of every single character in that movie. Okay. It doesn't matter if it was from the school people, the parents, the people at the party. I knew at least one of these people throughout my high school years. Okay. So yeah, I could say that it was very familiar relatable to me. Yes.
So I'm guessing you probably watched the movie like pretty much when it came out.
Yeah, I did. I took you there when we were in LA one time, but it's completely different now. Okay. But right next to the campus at USC, they had like a little, it's not a strip mall, but
plaza?
A plaza. And it had a bunch of stores in it, like a record shop, a supermarket, had a couple other, like a gift shop, a stationery store, and there was a movie theater. And the most expensive was like $5. It's kind of like the Rainbow Cinemas here.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just a small neighborhood cinema.
Which is not here anymore.
Yeah, it's gone too. But that's where we would go watch movies. Okay. And we watched it like $5 on a Friday night.
Ooh, big spender.
Yes. So I got to see it in its first run in the theaters with other 15 to 22-year-olds. Yeah. So we got the full house party experience in real time.
I really can't remember when I actually saw it. Because also, getting access to it during that time might have been a little hard too.
Yeah.
So it could have been even much later. I don't even know. I know I've seen it. Can't say when.
All right. So I think we should take another break and we'll be right back. All right, we are back talking about House Party and our thoughts on the movie.
There are one-off characters in the movie that have scenes. So which one do you think has the best moment?
It's got to be John Witherspoon. He's my favorite.
Mr. Strickland.
Yes. I paid $15,000 for this damn house. I'm making all this damn noise.
And then, of course, he has to look at the little girls, though. He's like, I'm just messing with these kids.
You got some big ones.
I think the part when he's going on and on making noise, and then his wife tells him, "Come back to bed, Harry." Right. Harry, and she just She had her eyes closed. She was sleeping. And then
Right.
she immediately turned into that like shocked emoji.
Yeah, him just saying all the random things about
Yes.
public enema.
Yes.
Who the hell is public enema? And cursing out people on 911. First of all, he dialed the wrong number.
Yes.
Calling 911.
Like, that's a lot of numbers for 911 that you're dialing.
Oh, dial the wrong number. And then when he finally gets through, he's cussing at them. I paid $15,000 for this house, Mr. Officer. They're making too much damn noise.
Calling the police.
Yes. So yeah, he's my favorite.
Yeah.
Like 1 scene, 2 scene character in the whole movie.
That's like totally a side character.
Yeah.
Because he has there's no attachment to
Yeah,
Kid
he's
and Play.
not
He's
in
just
the
neighbor.
party.
He's just literally the neighbor.
An angry neighbor who got woken up.
Yeah.
It's probably like 9:30 too.
Yeah, because if the party is just starting pretty much when he woke up, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's clearly one of the best moments of these sort of side characters. The small moment that makes me laugh is Shireen's little brother just egregiously making that Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah. What flavor do you want? Grape or red?
And then just holding that bag. I'm surprised that it didn't empty out with how long he was holding that bag over the container. I was like, this never-ending bag of sugar.
Girl, that's gonna taste good.
Also, I forgot his name, the alcoholic friend at the party.
Oh, Groove.
Yes, he was totally fine during the dance-off, and then he hit that spin,
And took him out.
and then he was gone.
Yeah, he was my second favorite in the movie. Because when they had to drag him home because he's too drunk and he's just singing to himself, I've seen the light. I've seen the light.
Wearing a full-on suit, looking like he's
Yes.
selling insurance,
They just lean him up against the doorbell or the door and ring the doorbell and leave.
run away.
So you said that's a small, low-key scene.
Mhm.
What's something else like that that kind of stuck with you?
Well, another thing that stuck with me was like one of the sweet moments, which was after Pops was telling Kid to go eat his breakfast and all this and that. He goes to his bedroom and Pops is falling asleep, shoes on and everything because he's tired. And then Kid just comes in and takes his shoes off. And then just to, not keep it too sappy, then you hear him yelling from upstairs, finish your breakfast, boy.
Yeah. Like, I thought you were sleeping.
Yeah, you got your little sweet moment, but stern dad has to show up again.
Yes. Mine is another play ain't shit moment.
Mm-hmm.
Is when Kid is being chased and he comes running out of the alley and he leans up against the light pole and Play just drives right past him.
And Bilal was like, hey, isn't that Kid?
And he made no effort to stop.
He was just like, we ain't got no room anyway.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, we're gonna be late. I gotta get to this party.
Like, come on, this is your man here.
Yeah, because even Bilal was like, that's foul.
Yeah, because it's not like they even knew he was being chased. It's just like he's going the same place we are.
And he's on the street.
Yeah.
Like, you can stop, pick up your best friend.
Exactly. He'll be all right.
So then, what is your favorite overall scene?
It's actually a 2-part scene because it kind of goes along with this. It's when Bilal is mad that Play showed up to pick him up with the girl in the car. And he starts like damages in his equipment. He finally gets it in. It's like, I'm going to have to come back and get you. And he was so mad. And then when he comes back later, he's got 4 more girls in the car.
Wait, not only was he so mad, he was threatening to fight the girl.
Yes.
Beat up a girl.
He wanted her out of that car bad. He's like, no, I'm going with my equipment.
But he said, I'm not scared to fight a girl or something like that.
I'll fight a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then him sitting outside looking all sad. Like, I sat out here on this porch for an hour just to tell you I'm not going. But of course, Play slick talks him into going. Look at all those girls in the car. You can get a head start on all the other fellas.
Except they're not interested.
Not at all. Not at all. What about you?
I'm going with that annual gala of the older folks.
Okay.
Because, for these silly teen movies, you have to have like a really silly scenario. And so it's just like you're running from the cops, you're running from the bullies, you're trying to get to this party, but then you just show up, accidentally end up at this party, and you're just like, oh, hi.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and kick a rhyme for y'all.
And I think what's hilarious is like most of the adults are confused because they're like, why is this kid here? But this one lady, she just starts grooving.
She was loving it.
And as he's trying to tell people to wave your hands in the air, this other lady's just like, huh? And she just throws her hands up. Like the cops are telling her to throw her hand up. So just seeing how the older folks are reacting to him, and it's such a like teen moment, I guess you could say, because he's trying to like hype up the party and they're all confused, and yeah, just like slapstick teen stuff, shenaning wherever possible.
Yes. High level shenanigans are happening.
There's another thing. It's not so much a scene per se, but I liked how you got to see each of their bedrooms, because this just kind of reminds me of like, when you're a teenager, like decorating your room was so important, like your posters or even like your locker. It was like your first real way of expressing your personality.
Yeah.
Like you could tell a lot about a teenager by how they decorate their room.
Bilal had his wall ceiling to floor covered with Jet Beauty of the Week.
And carefully. It was a gallery wall.
It was.
Very nicely laid out.
Ceiling to floor with the Jet Beauty of the Week.
And then, of course, Kid had all his like music stuff, musical equipment, and I think like posters, big boombox and stuff like that. I don't think we didn't see Play's room because he was just like in like the living room.
Yeah, he was cleaning up the living room.
Yeah. So did this movie set expectations of what you expected a house party to be like?
It did, because I had no idea what house parties were like, because I saw this in 90, so it must have been like 9th grade, 8th or 9th grade, so I had no idea.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then I didn't go to my first one till 11th grade, 10th or 11th grade, and then we threw one, and we set that bitch off, too. I ain't gonna lie, I told you. We should have gotten the police to come, but we didn't. Nobody got into any fights. It was a good night. So that did set the expectation. Yeah. But like I said, I started going to clubs immediately after this. Yeah. So I didn't really do that many house parties till like 5-6 years later. But it wasn't even like this. It was like more or less people just kicking it and hanging out.
Right.
Because in LA, we would just do something in the backyard, not necessarily in the house. More people would be outside because people didn't want to get their houses messed up.
Right.
So y'all check that shit in the backyard.
LA's weather is nice all year round. Yeah. So you can just be outside.
So it would be more of an outside thing than anything.
A kickback, if you will.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Kickbacks.
Yeah, in terms of house parties, just to like some throughout university. And I would say, like, in Canada, you don't have to be 19 to go to the clubs. But the university I went to is like, well, anyone in Toronto who knows, I went to York, which is in North York, and all the clubs are like downtown.
Right.
I had like one friend who had a car, and like we would definitely take the subway to go downtown and go clubbing and stuff. But you're not going to do that too often, right. And like we're broke college kids and stuff, so we were more likely to do like house parties. But it wasn't even like a lot of maybe like somebody's birthday, right. Or like some
it was an occasion.
Yeah, some kind of occasion. So by that time, I would say, minus like the dance battles and whatnot, I would say that those house parties were similar to this.
Okay.
But obviously that took another 10 years for me to experience that. So it set I don't know if I could say set expectations because I was so young, but I think what it did was kind of like gave me a peek into what outside would be like, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've mentioned it many times before that I always kind of felt like a fish out of water where I grew up. So it was kind of like this idea is like, maybe there's like a world out there for me.
Right.
Like, I remember it was just like, I know I don't want to be here. I don't know where there is.
Yeah.
But I'm going to figure out where there is and if there is for me. If that makes any sense. So I think it was more of just seeing how other people live.
Yeah. Now, seeing how other people live, we also got to see what other people were listening to at the time. Listening to the soundtrack a couple days ago, a lot of these songs, as you were playing them the other day, are definitely 1989, 1990.
Yeah.
Some of them, they still get off today, though. So what song from the soundtrack fits its scene in the movie the best to you?
I'm gonna have to pick the Luther Vandross song, especially now that I know that this was the inspiration for the movie. So the
Yeah,
fact
that
that
makes
as
sense.
soon as the movie starts, before you even see anything, you hear Luther.
Yeah, you get the New Line Cinema logo
Yep.
and dibbity dibbity dee.
So
Okay.
yeah.
I want to say Full Force ain't my type of hype because it fits the dance battle
Yeah.
perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going with Public Enemy Can't Do Nothing For You, man.
Okay.
Just because they were going hard when that song was playing.
Yeah.
Like you could dance to a Public Enemy song just because of how some of them were produced.
Mm-hmm.
But this one wasn't. It was actually meant to be danced to. The other ones you could dance to.
Yeah.
This one was meant to be danced
Right.
to. So I'm going with that.
Okay.
Flavor Flav is the son. Public Enemy #1.
I can't do nothing for you, man.
Bass in your face. So what's the best song on the soundtrack?
I'm going with Why You Get Funky on Me by Today,
Okay.
aka Big Bub and them.
Yes.
Because of the songs on the soundtrack, some of them, well, I mean, this one too, all of them are quite dated.
They are.
But this one I could still jam to.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the other songs I was listening to, I'm like, they sound like songs I would like, but they also aren't very catchy.
Right.
They kind of like follow the sound of the times, but I guess it didn't. Because like some of these groups I didn't ever even heard of. And
Yeah,
guess
I have
that
no
might
idea
be-
who the majority of the
Yeah.
people are on this soundtrack.
So I was like, maybe it's not just me who is not playing these songs
No,
decades later.
no, it's not.
But I can get down to a little Big Bub.
Yeah, that one works.
What about you?
I'm going with, even though I went in with Public Enemy saying how I love that song,
Mhm.
I do, but I'm going with To the Break of Dawn by LL Cool J.
Yeah, I was going to pick that song just because it's LL.
Yeah.
But I think I went with the Big Bub song because it seemed to fit the movie better.
Right. Yeah, this song is out of place
Mhm.
because he's dissing Kumo D, Hammer, and Ice-T on the song.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand why it was there, but hey, it was.
Yeah.
Because it really had nothing to do with the movie. It's not like it's something that you could really dance
I don't even
to.
remember it in the movie.
I don't think it was
Okay.
in the movie.
Because I was like, when I was looking at the soundtrack, I'm like, I don't remember hearing this song. And then I thought maybe I missed it.
Yeah, I don't remember it being in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's on the soundtrack.
Sure.
All right. Do you have any other thoughts on House Party and Kid and Play and Sydney and Shireen, Bilal, anybody in the movie that you want to say before we get up out of here?
I like that it was a movie that was meant to just be fun.
Yeah, because we watched the reboot the other night, or last night actually, and it was bad.
I didn't like it at all. It's
No.
like it took all the fun out of it. First of all,
Yes,
they weren't teenagers anymore.
they weren't.
So it was a little too serious because they're like throwing this party because they got fired from their jobs and one of the guys has to pay for expensive tuition for his baby girl. And he's like a young single dad. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, already this premise is not fun.
Exactly.
Like
They took all the joy out of it.
yeah, like shenanigans when you're a teenager is much sillier than like trying to make $10,000 for some expensive preschool.
Right.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we need to go on about this anymore, except for I was disappointed by it. The only thing was funny was Kid Cudi
Yeah.
just
He's the
showing up being a weird side character.
only redeeming character or moments from that movie was Kid
Like
Cudi.
everything else, I was just like, oh.
Exactly.
On that note,
all right. So I guess this is a good spot for us to wrap this all up. Thank you again for listening to They Reminisce Over You. We try to do this every 2 weeks. So come on back and check us out on our next episode. You can head over to troypodcast.com. You can sign up for our newsletter there. You can listen to playlists that we've put together for this episode and others. You can listen to other episodes while you're there. You can find a link to our store on the website as well, or you can go directly to it at teethang.com. teethang.com. It's where we sell our merch. It's where we sell other pop culture stuff, t-shirts, hats, mugs, cups, bags. greens, beans, tomatoes. So check out the store, tthang.com, nothing but a tthang. And yes, time for us to get up out of here because it's getting a little hot without the AC on. And yeah, that's it. Bye.